Today I want to share 8 signs of enlightenment with you. And before I dive right into these 8 signs, I just want to put a short disclaimer here. No, I don't consider myself a guru. I don't consider myself the most enlightened person in the world. However, through my own spiritual journey and through my own awakening moments and enlightenment experiences, I reached a certain level that made me realize that I handle things differently now than I used to handle them in the past. And I also deal with things differently than a lot of other people, or let's say 99% of other people on this planet deal with. And this is actually a good indicator that you have reached a certain level of enlightenment. When you are at such a peaceful place, when you are so in love with life and in love with yourself, that you don't react in the same way as everyone else, and that everyone else actually gets annoyed because you are so at peace with yourself and the world. That's a very good indicator that you are on the right path and that you've reached a certain level of enlightenment. And the first sign that you are there and that you are enlightened is when the simplest things make you happy. In the past, when I woke up, I looked at the sunshine and I was like, oh, another day. Oh no, another day of suffering. Oh, life is suffering. That was my attitude for years, even for decades. And now I look at the sun and say, oh, it's beautiful, another day. Or to give you another example, just yesterday I opened my window in my apartment and 2 flies were flying in. And in the past, when I saw flies and I heard the bzzz of the flies, I was getting aggressive. I was like, oh, how can I kill them? How can I get them out of my apartment? And now I just had this fun game yesterday where I played basically hide and seek with them, and I just guided them out of my apartment. And after I did this, I looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, interesting. My old self would have never reacted like that. Or when you go out and you see a happy couple, or you see happy people, or you see a cat, or you see a dog, whatever it might be, those things that in the past you just ignored. Now you see them, you sense them, you listen to the signs of the universe that the universe provides you with, and you actually enjoy them. And another sign that you reached enlightenment is that you no longer judge yourself for your past. I already said in another episode that in one of my last relationships, I showed the typical response of somebody who was dealing with suppressed trauma, and as a result of that, I created a lot of drama in this relationship because I was unable to commit. And I was unable to commit because of past trauma that was holding me back. That was past trauma that I still carried around from my first heart surgery as a baby and my second heart surgery when I was 13 years old. And all these years I just thought, what's wrong with me? Why am I always living in this avoidance? Why am I never really able to commit to anything or anyone? And once I overcame my trauma through therapy, energy work, and all kinds of different spiritual healing practices, and by doing that I embarked on this journey of enlightenment, then I could finally see in a very clear way why I acted this way in the past. Because back then I was unable to commit because deep down I was afraid of getting abandoned. And a typical trauma-induced reaction is to abandon the other person before you can get abandoned. But today I would never react like that. I'm a completely different person. Nowadays I'm no longer afraid of abandonment because I fully love and accept myself. And I am happy with myself. I am in love with myself. And abandonment no longer scares me because I cannot be abandoned if I love myself. And if the love for myself is stronger than any external source of love, then you can't get abandoned. So you're not scared of this anymore. And of course I could now say I judge myself for what I did in the past, which I've done for a long period of time. But eventually I discovered that when you let go and when you say everything is good in my heart, I accept and I love myself for who I was because it allowed me to become the person who I am. And once you make this transition, you will no longer judge yourself for your past. Or to give you another example, for a long time I was caught up in this whole hustle hard mentality that you see all these business coaches on YouTube talk about. Don't sleep so much, just hustle, work 10 hours a day. And I did that for a very long time. And I developed all kinds of stress-related health issues. Now I work 6 hours a day, I'm more productive, I make more money because I'm more in alignment, and I spend more time meditating and raising my vibration. And now I could say again, I judge this old version of myself, but no. These stress-related illnesses then allowed me to embark on this spiritual journey and to experience my own enlightenment. And I invite you to do the same. These experiences that are accompanied with a lot of suffering, they allow you to rise above yourself, above your old self, and to then embark on a new spiritual journey that eventually leads you towards awakening and enlightenment. And loving this old self instead of resenting this old self is an important step towards emotional healing and eventually a deep feeling of gratitude and self-love. And another clear sign of enlightenment is that you don't judge others for their past. I want to give you an example right now that might sound weird for you, but it's something that I experienced as a dating coach, especially in my business as a dating coach for men, because a lot of men have this hypocritical view that a woman with a lot of romantic partners is easy and they call her names, but at the same time, they want to get her in bed very fast. Doesn't make any sense, right? And for a long time, I actually thought, yeah, that premise is really flawed. But I still discovered myself judging women who had a lot of romantic partners. And in the same way, I discovered myself judging rich people for being rich. And this might also be true for you. It might not be exactly this example, but there are other examples. I mean, we all judge people for different reasons. And it's sometimes these little things that when you see someone who has a certain style and you just automatically label him or her, and you go like, look at this person, look at this hippie, look at this gangster, look at whatever it might be, you're automatically judging. And even though, like I said, I always thought this premise is flawed, I never really got over this judgment. And nowadays, if I meet a woman or meet any person at all, not just a woman, but I just thought I'd give you this example because it's a very practical example. I don't judge anyone for their past. I don't judge anyone for the path that they are on right now. In fact, I don't judge them at all. I'm completely non-judgmental. If we ever meet in one of the seminars that I hopefully will do in the future, or maybe on an Abraham Hicks workshop, who knows? If we ever meet, I promise you, even if you judge yourself for your past, I won't judge you, because I know that you had to make these experiences in order to embark on your own spiritual path, your own journey towards awakening and enlightenment. And this is true for you, for me, and for everyone else. It doesn't matter to me if you worked in the adult industry or if you worked as a psychotherapist, whatever you might work at. As long as you had to make these experiences in order to develop, in order to grow, in order to reach a certain level of awakening, everything is fine, everything is great. The only thing that matters to me is what the person learns from this experience and from his or her journey, and if this journey led you on a more enlightened path, and then I'm happy for you and also for all your past experiences. And the next sign of enlightenment is that the idea to not follow your calling and to do what you love seems completely absurd. For me, the idea to get a 9-to-5 job that I don't even like seems completely unrealistic. I mean, it seems completely out of my reality. It's not even a part of my reality. In the past, I did it all the time. Back when I was vibrating in lack, that's when I was always seeking for the next job and the next job and the next job. And I was like, oh, come on, can I please save a few $100? And now I know that finding and following my true calling is the only way to live. Because it's the only thing that makes sense, because if you follow your true calling, then everything else will fall into place, because then you vibrate at a higher level, you feel better, and you can manifest your dreams. And if you want to follow your true calling, you might want to check out the link in the description. And the next sign of enlightenment is that meditation becomes easy and effortless instead of exhausting. You might be shocked when I tell you that I meditate more than 2 hours every day. I use different guided meditations, mostly from Joe Dispenza, and I also use my own meditation techniques. And before my enlightenment experiences, I couldn't even sit down for 5 minutes because my brain was just racing like crazy. I kid you not, 5 minutes and my brain was going bonkers in all different directions, and I had to stand up and stress myself again, because that was the paradigm that I was living in. I was living this paradigm of destroy yourself, suffer, and stress yourself. And now I'm a completely different person. I mean, now whenever I'm in meditation, I'm in bliss. And I always look forward to the next meditation experience. This is something that if you tell that my old self, he would just be like, okay, yeah, no, that's impossible. But now that's my new reality and it feels amazing. And the sixth sign of enlightenment is that you no longer compare yourself to others. You might laugh when I tell you this, but when I started as a dating coach, I wanted to be like Dan Bilzerian, the king of Instagram. If you don't know who that is, you can look him up on Instagram. You could always see him with sports cars, with women, with money. And it's like this teenage boy's dream, basically, to live this lifestyle. And I also constantly compared my income and my website stats with others. There was this program, I don't know if it's still around, Alexa, and no, it's not Amazon Alexa, it's Alexa website ranking. And I was so focused on comparing my stats on my website from my different businesses with other businesses. No matter if I compared my dating life with this guy on Instagram or my business life with other businesses, with the statistics of other businesses, I was always in comparison. And I know that a lot of people, most people do this every day. That's why social media makes us so depressed. If you're constantly looking at Instagram models with 100,000 followers, of course you will think that you're unattractive. Or if you're always comparing yourself with Jeff Bezos when it comes to your income, of course you will be depressed. And nowadays, I don't even check my website and podcast stats anymore. It has become irrelevant. When I see other coaches who are more successful, other business owners who make more money, I'm happy for them. I no longer compare myself to anyone except the person I want to be. And this is one of the most liberating feelings in the world, because this is the feeling that allows you to follow your true calling without worrying about what other people might think of you. And if you want to experience this feeling, you might want to check out the link in the description. And it's so true. I no longer care if someone judges me for being a dating coach and a spiritual coach. I don't care that 99% of people look at me as if I was on drugs when I tell them that I believe in the law of attraction. I am myself, my authentic self, and it feels so damn amazing. And sign number 7 of enlightenment. Your environment doesn't dictate your feelings. Of course, I also have knee-jerk reactions. I'm a human being. When I have a certain health issue, the first moment I'm like, oh no, why do I have this? Oh, this sucks. But in the past, I was going right into this emotion. And for days, I was like, oh, why am I on this earth? Why am I suffering? Why do I have to go through this? Oh no, I curse the world and everyone. That was my old self. Nowadays, I have a knee-jerk reaction for 1, 2, 3 minutes. Then I accept it, I let go, and it's okay. Because it doesn't matter whether or not you react. You're still a human being, so you will react. But as Dr. Joe Dispenza says it, it's all about how long you react and how long you stay in this negative emotion. For example, just recently, I had with one of my other businesses a very, very disastrous failed book launch. It was not my mistake. It was because the platform that I used, the publishing platform, had this brilliant idea to exactly update their whole website interface on this day when I started this book launch. And of course, when you update a website interface, everything crashes. Their whole website crashed, and until now, I still don't see the sales statistics that I made, and I don't know if I will ever get the money. But it's okay. I don't care anymore. It's really not a big deal for me. In the past, I would have gone crazy. I would have called their support 10 times. I would have gone, and now I'm just like, it's okay. And it's not that you try to control and master your environment, but by mastering yourself, you no longer get affected by your environment. And the last sign of enlightenment that I want to share with you is that you enjoy the moment while being guided by a vision of the future. This means that you no longer live in the past. You are no longer a slave to past emotions and the drama that you maybe created in your past. And even though deep down you know that you created this drama or these negative emotions that you felt in the past because you manifested these experiences, you know that. But a lot of people still don't make this switch from saying, okay, that's my past and now I focus on the now and on the future. Because when you no longer focus on the past, but when you focus on the present moment and on your future, on your goals for your future, on your vision for the future, on the things you want to manifest in your future, on your desire to follow your true calling, to do what you love, to follow your passion, then you are free because you're no longer trapped in the past. For example, if you follow your true calling and you wake up in the morning, you're excited, you're full of life, and you can't wait to get to work, then you're no longer trapped in these negative beliefs in the past. I mean, for example, me recording this right now, my voice might sound a little bit weird because it's 8 o'clock in the morning and I just had my breakfast and I had this desire to record this for you. So I did it. I'm excited about what this day will provide for me. And I hope that you're also excited about what this day will provide for you. And at the same time, I'm really excited for the future, for what I want to achieve. For example, I want to manifest my dream apartment, or the relationship that I will have in the future, or the experiences that I will have in the future. I'm excited for the future. And before my spiritual journey, before I discovered the law of attraction, before I realized that I can manifest my dreams and that I'm a deliberate creator, I always thought about the worst case scenario when I thought about my future. And now I just think, oh God, I can't wait for my future to come, because my future will be amazing. Because I'm no longer trapped in my old self and my old limiting beliefs that I was carrying around for years. And when you make this transition from focusing on your past to focusing on the present moment and on the future, then you are truly free. And if you want to experience the freedom of following your true calling and of doing what you love and raising your vibration and manifesting your dreams while doing it, then you can check out the link in the description. And if you want to book your first Skype manifestation coaching session with me, then you can check out the second link in the description. And if you enjoyed watching this video, please send out some love to the YouTube universe by giving this video a big thumbs up. And I would also appreciate it if you would leave a comment in the comment section below and let me know what you think about my video. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel and to click on the notification bell so that you get notified whenever I release a new video for you.